What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check it out. Katt Williams, baby. Katt Williams. We got to do another take on Katt Williams. Hey, I'm still in the Philippines, but I had to move inside, man, because, dude, it is hot. When I tell you it's hot, it's hotter than 100 hamburgers out there, man. Check it out. I'm still trying to set up as usual. Katt Williams named rappers working as Fed informants. And this is why Jay-Z ain't going to jail. I don't know if Jaguar Wright got anything to do with it. Jay-Z going to jail, baby. It is hot as I don't know what in the Philippines. But anyway, hey, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell, baby. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Help support the channel, man. Before we get started, man, let me tell y'all, man, you know, the Music Recording Network, we do music and do as much as we can to help people, man. We help people. We actually have a YouTube course that we're teaching people how to seriously make money on the internet. I'm trying to tell y'all, in 10 years, you're going to wish you did this, because in 10 years, the number one way to make money will be online, because y'all know they making these robots and all this other shit. Y'all know that. They're going to do all the work. What the human beings going to do? Think about it. Think about it. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell, man. Let's check this bad boy out. Katt Williams, man. Here we go.
Even like in the rap world. Like,
check it out.
All of the rappers that you know that never been to jail and never gotten any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like, those are federal informants, like, you know.
You think they're really out there?
Because if it ain't that, is it the snitch? Is it your informant friend? Did they come to you or did they get you? When did they get you?
Right.
Is that what you hiding? Is that what it is? Because this don't make no sense.
So that would be the question. What is it?
What is
Why?
it?
Why did you do this to me?
That would be the only question. Why?
Guys, Katt Williams has done it again. And by it, I mean he has dropped yet another bombshell no-holds-barred interview, just like the one he dropped last year on Club Shay Shay, which, by the way, the world has still not recovered from. Katt spilled a lot of hot, spicy industry tea in this interview, as usual, but one of the things that really struck people was when he talked about certain rappers in the industry being federal informants. Of course, the moment he said that, a lot of people immediately thought of one person, none other than Jay-Z. Rumors have been going around for years now that Jay-Z's day of reckoning is just around the corner. But guess what? It has never come, and everyone around him keeps getting taken down by the feds. Well, according to Katt, the feds are never going to go after Jay-Z because he is one of them. But wait, is Jay-Z really working for the feds? And what did Katt have to say about many of your favorite rappers being rats? Let's unpack this. The yearly Katt Williams industry disrupting tell-all interviews are really becoming a thing. And you know what? We are absolutely here for it. Last year, his interview with Club Shay Shay shook up the entire industry in a major way. A lot of the things he said came to pass, and most of the things he said started making sense as the year rolled by. From Diddy to Steve Harvey to the industry freak-offs and everything in between, it was like Katt had a mirror into the future somehow. Well, he's back at it again, and this time he did an explosive interview with Theo Von, where he talked about everything from industry secrets to reincarnation and politics. One thing that caught people's attention was when Katt talked about snitches in the industry. The moment Katt brought that up, people immediately thought of one person, Jay-Z. But guys, let's be real. Isn't it weird that almost everyone around Jay-Z has gotten nabbed by the feds, and Hay is still the only one untouched? Well, if you ask Katt, it's very weird. But the answer is simple. Jay-Z is untouchable because he's protected by the feds. To understand Jay's deep history with the feds, we have to go way back. Like back to when there was no Jay-Z and no Roc Nation. Back when Jay was just a kid on the streets trying to survive. As y'all might know, Jay-Z used to deal in a lot of things before his music career took off, and a lot of them weren't exactly legal. Back then,
Facts.
Jay-Z had a close friend he used to roll with named DeHaven. They literally grew up in the same building in the Marcy Projects, and they were so close that Jay was the godfather to DeHaven's daughter. DeHaven was basically Jay-Z's partner for a lot of his dealings at the time, so he was a key player in Jay-Z's come-up. However, everything changed after one unfortunate incident that exposed Jay-Z's true colors. It all went down on one faithful night when DeHaven and Jay-Z went out to pick up a fresh batch of their merchandise and ended up stocking 450 grams. But before they could make it back to their side of town, they were ambushed out of nowhere. Thinking fast, DeHaven tried to distract the attackers so that Jay could escape the danger, and luckily, they both made it out. But after DeHaven caught up with Jay-Z, he realized that something was terribly wrong. He couldn't breathe properly. That's when DeHaven realized that he had been hit and was on the verge of losing consciousness. Somehow, DeHaven managed to hail a cab to take him to the hospital. Before he left, he handed over the cash and product they were carrying to Jay, telling Jay to grab his mom and meet him at the hospital. Jay followed through and did what DeHaven asked him to do, and it was all great. But everything changed when the two besties got caught up in a case together that ended up in DeHaven, catching 5 years behind bars while Jay walked. You would think Jay would stand by DeHaven's side since they were both involved in the business that landed DeHaven in prison. However, according to DeHaven, Jay completely switched up on him, leaving him to handle the legal mess alone. But Jay wasn't even feeling sorry about it, and he accused DeHaven of snitching. In his track, No Hook, Jay rapped, "F DeHaven for caving, that's why we don't speak." DeHaven has denied snitching on Jay-Z multiple times, but he could never bounce back from Jay's betrayal. So, while Jay was out here building his empire, DeHaven was left on the sidelines. Jay pretty much controlled the narrative until DeHaven did an explosive interview with Real Life Productions, where he was finally able to tell his side of the story. According to DeHaven, the reason why Jay-Z somehow walks clean from every mess he gets tangled up in is because he is heavily protected thanks to his affiliation with Desiree Perez, a former deferral informant with a very sketchy past. Desiree doubles as the president of Roc Nation and Jay-Z's right-hand woman, which is ironic because Jay was out here calling DeHaven a snitch only to go and make a literal federal informant his second in command. The double standards are crazy. But here's the thing. Desiree isn't just some corporate thief who got caught with tax evasion or something. No, her past is way darker than that. Born in the Bronx to Cuban immigrant parents.
Whoa, wait a minute, man. I got to take a mental break right here.
Hey guys, Uncle Mike here with big news. YouTube has changed my life, and now it's your turn. See, Uncle Mike was tired of being broke after every payday. So I decided to do something about it. So I invested over about $9,000 in YouTube courses and online coaching. Man, I was determined to change. But guess what? None of these systems gave me the one-on-one coaching that I needed. So I created my own YouTube course with the help that you need to make sure that you succeed. If you're ready to learn and you're not afraid to put in the work, you too can make a real change. Sign up now and Uncle Mike will send you the 4 videos that got me started. 100% free. Click the word more below and look for our YouTube growth system. That's our course. Now, let's get back to this video.
Jay-Z about to get burnt, man.
Desiree
He about to
isn't
get
just some
burnt.
corporate thief who got caught with tax evasion or something. No, her past is way darker than that. Born in the Bronx to Cuban immigrant parents, Desiree got into the music space in the mid-90s, working as a part-time assistant manager at a New York nightclub. From there, Desiree started connecting with some of the local artists, which is how she met Jay-Z. Fast forward to 2009, and Desiree officially joined Roc Nation as the chief operating officer, working closely with Jay-Z and Beyonce on multiple projects. By 2019, Jay announced at the Billboard Women in Music Awards that he had appointed Desiree as the CEO of Roc Nation. In her new role, Desiree got to supervise some of Roc Nation's most important projects. For instance, she executive produced 4 consecutive Super Bowl halftime shows from 2021 to 2024. To outsiders, it seems like Desiree and Jay-Z have a great working relationship built on mutual respect and trust. but it's much deeper than that, and some people have called Desiree Jay-Z's Griselda Blanco. For those who don't know, Griselda Blanco was a notorious Colombian drug lord famous
Black Widow, the Black Widow, baby. She was vicious. This is real talk right here. She was vicious.
And some people have called Desiree Jay-Z's Griselda Blanco. For those who don't know, Griselda Blanco was a notorious Colombian drug lord famous for her ruthless tactics. She's believed to have been responsible for at least 200 unalivings, and she notoriously didn't have mercy on her enemies. Griselda held court in Miami and ruled her territory with a strong hand from the 70s through the early 2000s. In 1975, she was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison. She served 19 years before being granted release due to poor health. After her release, Griselda was deported back to Colombia, where she would get taken out in Medellin by motorbike assassins in September 2012. Till today, no one knows who orchestrated Griselda's death, though there are some pretty strong suspects. Now, you might be wondering what any of this has to do with Desiree and how Jay-Z comes to play. Well, for starters, here's a photo of young Jay-Z and Griselda Blanco, and from their posture, you can tell they're very friendly with each other. So, how did they meet? Well, according to court records obtained by the New York Daily News back in 1994, Desiree Perez was arrested on possession of 35 kilos of Coca-Cola and conspiracy with intent to distribute narcotics. Authorities believe Desiree was part of a much larger substance distribution conspiracy stretching from New York to Florida and Puerto Rico. However, Desiree wasn't in it alone. Her husband, Juan O.G. Perez, was also her partner in crime, and apparently, he knew Griselda Blanco personally. Now here's where things get much more interesting. Jay-Z and OG Juan are actually pretty close, and they go way back to the mid-90s. They co-founded the 40/40 Club, and years later, Jay-Z made OG Juan the president of Roc Nation Sports. But according to insiders, Jay-Z and OG Juan's relationship didn't start here. It goes way back to the time when Jay-Z was still working the streets, and they allegedly both dealt in the same merchandise, if you know what I mean. Anyway, back to Desiree and her federal case after being caught with all those kilos. As we said before, Desiree's case wasn't just some small-time case. It was pretty serious, involving some major cartel players and kingpins, and it was pretty serious. But get this. As serious as it was, Desiree got only 5 years of probation. Come to find out, the reason why she got off light was that she agreed to cooperate with the U.S. Attorney's Office and become an informant. Oh, and Desiree wasn't about to let anything throw her back in the gallows, so she took her job very seriously. Apparently, she even wore wires to gather intel on her former partners. The New York Daily wrote an article covering the case where they said, a June 11th, 1996 court hearing obtained by the News shows the feds were pleased with their star mole. The defendant has really worked closely with these agents. Assistant U.S. Attorney Lawrence Bardfeld told a judge that day, arguing to keep Perez out of jail. The article also referred to Desiree as a Manhattan nightclub manager with a lengthy criminal record and close links to hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. Then it described her as having a long and wild history as a DEA cooperating witness, and then a fugitive. The funny thing is that when you try to look up this article, you can hardly find it or any references to it online. After the news broke that Jay-Z had made Desiree the president of Roc Nation, his former friend and business partner Dame Dash showed up on Sway in the morning and made it clear that Jay took things too far by hiring a federal informant. According to Dame, a lot of people in Jay's circle, including Kareem Biggs Burge, one of the co-founders of Rockefeller, had dealt with issues with the feds in the past. So it made no sense for Jay-Z to now bring an informant into the mix. But here's the thing, Jay-Z wasn't the only one who was making shady decisions like hanging out with snitches. Remember when Meek Mill called out Tekashi 6ix9ine and said he should apologize for snitching? Back in May 2020, Meek tweeted, "I hope that rat going live to apologize to the people he told on or the victim. Y'all forgot that fast that a rat unalived Nipsey. He wasn't supposed to be on the streets. That's the only thing everything I'ma say because he's not with us, left his baby mom and child like a coward as targets. Fans were not impressed by this tweet, and they didn't waste any time reminding Meek Mill that he shouldn't be the one slamming anybody for being a snitch because he's also one, or at least he makes a pretty good effort to act like one. Folks pulled up these photos from 2019 showing Desiree personally walking Meek Mill.
I don't know. Hold up, man. I don't know. Every time I try to give Meek so many passes, man, because the boy spit that one song. You're a one-hit wonder so far, but that one hit you did was vicious. But long story short, man, Meek, I don't. How did you get there, man? You and Rick Ross. You and Rick Ross. How did y'all get there, man, without giving up the cheeks? They gave up the cheeks, baby, to get there.
Or at least he makes a pretty good effort.
Oops, my bad, allegedly.
To act like one. Folks pulled up these photos from 2019 showing Desiree personally walking Meek Mill into court, where he managed to cut a deal to get his charges dropped. So, the audacity of him complaining about snitches when he's cool with having a known informant help him avoid jail time.
Desiree Perez became a cooperating witness for the DEA in the 1990s after her 1994 arrest for possession of 35 kilos of cocaine. Perez struck a deal with the feds, agreeing to wear a hidden wire to record her meetings with major cocaine traffic cartel. Her undercover informant work won her courtroom praise for federal prosecutors, as did mine, after she helped them break up major dealers in Puerto Rico and Colombia. You see Meek Mill right here with Desiree Perez, right? She's part of his bail with Jay-Z. This part of Roc Nation, right? She's a executive at Roc Nation. But then you go saying, yo, listen, we don't fuck with rats. Your executive is a rat. So you pick and choose? Because if you don't want to be around rats completely, you're with a rat right there. She cooperated for the DEA.
That's facts. That's facts.
Meek Mill, you can't pick and choose who you want to call rats. You can't say this is fake. This is on public information. This was on the New York, on the New York Times. What are you gonna say? No, I didn't know. You know.
Just a few months after Tekashi called out Meek for working with Desiree, news came out that Desire was one of the 143 people who were pardoned or had their sentences reduced under Trump's first administration. However, Desiree getting that pardon and having her past as a federal informant come to light only caused more drama. A lot of people started throwing shade at Jay-Z and Roc Nation for working with her. One of the people who called Jay-Z out was Tory Lanez's father, who went off on Jay after Tory was sentenced to 10 years behind bars for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. He went on a whole rant outside the courtroom where he called Desiree a snitch and suggested that Roc Nation played a role in sending Tory to jail.
You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men. And you're still doing it. But I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you.
He has kids.
Roc Nation, because my son refused to sign a Roc Nation deal with you.
Yes.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Yes.
You turned on your co-conspirators, all the whole mafia, one of you, that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before so the Fed could give you a deal. All of you, trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you cut off. No, we don't. you with guns.
That's right.
But we know exactly how to
Facts.
break you down in the spirit.
That's right.
Remember Jay-Z's friend DeHaven?
That man was speaking straight from his heart. That man was speaking straight from his soul. There is no way. Think about it, y'all. How can so many people be so wrong? And they be 100% squeaky clean. Jay-Z, Puffy, Beyonce, J-Lo, all of them. 6ix9ine, Meek Mill. They all in the court system and everything. How can they be so squeaky clean? And all this is alleged.
We don't you
That's
with
crazy.
guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
That's right.
Remember Jay-Z's friend DeHaven? Well, he also had a lot to say about Desiree, basically calling her a snitch and blasting Jay for even being anywhere near her.
And keep in mind, the chick had a plan too. Like, yo, we could do things. And I can guarantee you the conversation with
That's
Emery,
right.
even when Emery
That's
came
right.
home and seen, he came home and seen the same thing. Yo, you dealing with her?
That's right. That's right.
Desiree.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
He came home and had to see it too. Say, yo, what is this? And I can tell you how that conversation probably went. Like, look, man, you don't need to worry about this. You don't need to worry about nothing else ever again. You over here with us now. But what if, yo, she a snitch? Man, that snitch, bro. Them people that's talking about that snitch, we ain't gonna be breathing in the same ear. Them, fuck you, that's what you worried about. Them that don't have nothing sitting home. Where you gonna be if you don't get on this side of town, get on this side? I can see that conversation happening. And they move all his integrity and morals to the side to take care of his family after he just did 12 years.
Damn right.
I can see that.
What else you
But
gonna
I
do? Work
don't
at
see-
McDonald's?
And what I couldn't put past me is Emery coming to me. Just on some real shit. This is what hurt when I say, when you expect niggas that treat you the way you treat them, and it don't work that way.
That's the worst thing you can ever do.
You know, because I could have expected a nigga to come to me and say, look, man, I don't know what Jay tripping off of. He's still tripping off of that, this, that, and the third. I'm not really with that, but you can't tell him I'm with you. So this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, 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 we work from there. Real. But to act like, yo, I'm gonna join forces and do the same thing and play this like this, come on, man. That's humiliating. And now I got you as a yes man. Like, yo, bro, you couldn't even speak up for me. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is twisted. And that's how all those conversations, that's how they think of us. They like, really, those guys talking about snitching, this and that, they ain't, what you worried about them for? They don't be in our parties. You know what I'm saying? What you worried about that for?
Now, all of this has led to speculation that Jay-Z is untouchable because he's protected by the feds, which is why he never gets into trouble with the feds, even when all his close friends are falling around him. In his recent interview, Katt Williams revealed that Jay-Z and a lot of other celebrities fall into this category. According to him, a lot of your favorite rappers are just informants who will snitch on anyone if it gets them what they want.
Like in the rap world, like all of the rappers that you know that never been to jail and never gotten any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like, those are federal informants, like, you know?
You think they're really out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the job, is to acquire those. It's like saying, you know, if you're playing chess, do you have any pawns? You have to, don't you? You can't start without them.
But now we'd love to hear your take. Do you think Jay-Z is protected because he's a Fed? Or do you think it's all just a big reach? Leave a comment down below and stick around for this next video.
Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Uncle Mike will keep digging, man. Just to let y'all know, we about to go out and give We got these little packages of rice and food and everything that we going to a poor area of the Philippines, and we're going to hand out some food to people that need help. Because y'all watching the YouTube channel, because y'all watching, we're taking the capital and feeding people. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.